Hello everybody, it's Chris Frame here and welcome aboard Cathay Pacific flight CX170. It's from Perth Airport in Australia through to Hong Kong, and it was flown on board an Airbus A350, and I'm really excited to share with you this review of the Airbus A350 for Cathay Pacific. Now, I was flying in business class and it was a fantastic experience. The business class seat is an updated version of the same type of seat that's used on the 777 and on the A330 for Cathay. And it's in a reverse herringbone layout with a 1-2-1 configuration, so everybody gets direct aisle access. The seat has been updated, however, with some new touches, including a much larger control panel and a bigger screen there on the handheld control. It also has a television screen, which you can see here, which is larger than that found on the Airbus A330. So after boarding the aircraft, welcome drinks were provided, and I had the champagne. And then I checked out all of the different features of this seat. So you can see here the new control panel. It comes out there, you can hold it in your hand, and it has a much larger screen, as I mentioned, for easier viewing. The seat controls, which you can see there, interestingly they're a bit worn out given how new the aircraft is, but it has that retro feel, and it's the same here with the light fitting. You can see you use a little dial there to adjust the brightness. The aircraft has much bigger windows than what was found on the Airbus A330, which used to operate to Perth, and you can see them here. This seat had two windows, although one was slightly obstructed at the back there. Then there's the tray table, which was finished in this faux wood veneer. It folds out there and creates a large workspace or a good sized table for dining. So if you need to work during your flight, you'll also have a place to rest your laptop. And there's plenty of space, as you can see. There's a blanket provided. The TV screen is very adjustable, and it's all touchscreen. So you can see here how the touchscreen works. If I figure out how to get into it, yeah, it's pretty responsive and was very intuitive. It's basically an upgraded version of the already well-reviewed Cathay Pacific in-flight entertainment system. And you can search for things by looking them up by name, or just go through the usual directories. Plenty of choice for the flight up from Perth to Hong Kong. Although as it is an overnight flight, I think sleep was on most people's agenda. There's also viewing cameras, one underneath the aircraft and then one on the tail that looks at the aeroplane from the back, and you can see it here against the new gates at Perth International Airport. So checking out the seats some more, there is a storage cubby here. It contains a vanity mirror and the headset, which are the noise cancelling style for business class passengers. There's also lots of storage locations throughout the seat, little cubbies that you can put things like your shoes or other personal belongings in. There's a blanket at each seat, and the screen, which you can see there, can be folded away if you want a bit more space, and then at a push of a button it opens back up again. So on the side of the seat there's a hook here for your coat, which they'll hang for you before the aircraft departs. There's a little pouch down there for the in-flight magazine and the safety card, and there's plenty of space in the seat. It's a very long seat. I'm just shy of 2 meters tall. There was plenty of space for me when sitting, but also when the chair was in the fully flat bed position. And of course, as you'd expect, there's also a pillow.
The flight deck today, Senior First Officer Andrew Keogh. Flight time was 7 hours and 5 minutes, be departing in the next few minutes, climbing to 38,000 feet initially with a couple of step climbs to 39 later, and then back down to 38. Could be a little bit of weather as we get to the north of Kinabalu, and some early morning thunderstorms for the forecast for arrival into Hong Kong. In-flight Service Manager Marie will shortly resume this aircraft safety briefing. As the briefing does contain very important information, I'd ask you to give your full attention. Hope you have a pleasant flight, manage to get some rest through the night. I'll get back to you in the morning with an update of the weather conditions and our arrival time. So until then, please sit back, relax, enjoy the Cathay service. Thank you.
And so here we are getting pushed back. It's a great view from the nose camera there, and you can see it also from the tail. Also gives you a good view as you're taxiing along, particularly in the dark, coming up to the runway. Now the A350 has next generation engines which are a lot quieter than the older aircraft engines, but they still make a great noise on takeoff, so now's the time to turn up your speakers. So there's a really good flight tracker on the in-flight entertainment system, and you can see here we've just left Perth, and it will show us the aircraft's route all the way up to Hong Kong, and it's very responsive. You can change the angles and directions and zoom in and zoom out just with your hands like you would on an iPhone or an iPad. You can see it's about 7 hours to go to Hong Kong, and the plane takes off just after midnight, so it's a nighttime flight. Just checking out the A350 business class bathroom. You can see here it's this is the one in the front of the cabin. It's got a window, and it's very modern, nicely kept clean, is in good working order given the age of the aircraft. That's not surprising, and everything's sort of touch button sort of style there rather than the old taps. So by the time I got back to my seat, the dinner menus had been handed out. This is just a look at what was on offer for dinner. As it was so late after midnight, I'd eaten both before leaving for the airport and also at the Qantas Club at Perth Airport. So I didn't have dinner, but I did have breakfast the next morning. And so this is just to give you a chance to have a look at what was on offer for dinner. So I just went to sleep. Now, unfortunately, my video of the seat in sleep position didn't work. So I'm really sorry about that. I've only got the footage here of the breakfast service the next morning, which you can see was served out on a tray there with the fruit and the croissant. A bit of a zoom in there. There's some jam as well and some bircher muesli, glass of water, and here we go with the lights on. A little bit easier to see the different things that were brought out in the morning. And of course, as soon as breakfast is served, the turbulence starts. And I had the hot meal as well for breakfast. Forecast for Hong Kong, 29 degrees. Again, it's just all nice and modern there on the aircraft. And here's the view out the window of that fantastic A350 wing with the beautiful winglet there.
That's a good 30 to 35 minutes ahead of schedule. Currently in Hong Kong, the weather's fine. We've got a light southerly breeze allocated runway 25 right for arrival. Current temperature of 29 degrees Celsius. There's no time change, same time as Perth. Current time in Hong Kong has just gone 6:36 in the morning. Do hope you've had a pleasant flight, and those remaining in Hong Kong, you hope you have a great stay. Passengers going on to other destinations today, we hope you have a safe and pleasant onwards journey. Thank you and good morning.
Let's talk about the sleep quality, because I spent most of this flight asleep. In fact, this is one of my favourite seats in terms of sleep quality for business class. It is a really clever design. It is fully flat bed, and it's long, so you have plenty of space. In fact, somebody who's my height, just under 2 meters tall, has plenty of space to stretch out, which is nice. Cathay Pacific don't provide on all flights the mattress or mattress protector, and so it can get a little bit hard, but one thing that I have found is that they're more than happy to provide you with a second blanket or a duvet, in which case you can pop that down on top of the seat to give yourself a bit of extra padding. The seat folds out, so you can sit in it and turn it into the bed position without having to get up. It doesn't fold over, it folds out into the ottoman there at the end of the seat. And it's all really easily controlled by the controller, which is within arm's reach of the chair or the seat. And when it's in bed mode, it kind of looks very similar to that on the Finnair A350, because it's the same basic seat design. So I'll link to the Finnair video that I've done in the description below, but you can also find it on my channel. Oh, and on the screen now you can see we're flying over the old Cathay Airport, which has been converted into a cruise terminal in Hong Kong. Gears down now, we have the view from the tail cam. You can see the speed brakes are on as well. And some beautiful views of Hong Kong. And here we are in Hong Kong, so thank you so much for joining me on this flight from Perth up to Hong Kong on the A350 with Cathay. Let me know what you thought of the aircraft and the video in the comments below. And don't forget also to subscribe to the channel If you'd like to see more aviation and cruising videos, including my recent review of Qantas Flight QF10, the direct service from Heathrow to Perth, Finnair's Flight 102 to Helsinki, and also some updates about the Oriana cruise ship and the Prinsendam cruise ship, which have both recently been sold. So thanks so much for watching and have a great day.